The third meditation, Jesus before Pilate. Then they led Jesus from Caiaphas to the praetorium, and it was early morning. But they themselves did not go into the praetorium, lest they should be defiled, that they might eat of the Passover. Pilate then went out to them and said, "What accusation do you bring against this man?" They answered and said to him, "If he were not an evildoer, we would not have delivered him up to you." Then Pilate said to them, "You take him and judge him according to your law." Therefore the Jews said to him, "It is not lawful for us to put anyone to death," that the saying of Jesus might be fulfilled which he spoke, signifying by what death he would die. When Pilate entered the praetorium again, called Jesus and said to him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus answered him, "Are you speaking for yourself, or did others tell you this concerning me?" Pilate answered, "Am I a Jew? Your own nation and the chief priests have delivered you to me. What have you done?" Jesus answered, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, my servants would fight so they should not be delivered to the Jews. But now my kingdom is not from here." Pilate therefore said to him, "Are you a king then?" Jesus answered, "You say rightly that I am a king. For this cause I was born, and for this cause I have come into the world, that I should bear witness to the truth. Everyone who is of the truth hears my voice." Pilate said to him, "What is truth?" And when he had said this, he went out again to the Jews and said to them, "I find no fault in him at all. But you have a custom that I should release someone to you at Passover. Do you therefore want me to release to you the king of the Jews?" Then they all cried again, saying, "Not this man, but Barabbas." Now Barabbas was a robber. As I was thinking about this meditation in this scripture, I really was focused on Pilate as a man. And I started thinking about how he did not want to take any sort of responsibility for the action that the Jews were asking him to do. They brought Jesus to him to sentence him, but he was kind of questioning and trying to skirt around as best as he could. And it made me think of a story about two of my daughters who will remain nameless. But the older of the two, I'd say oldest, she was the older of the two at the time, was playing with her younger sister, probably around 5 years of age, and I guess 2.5, somewhere in there. And they were playing, having a good old time. And then the older one got tired of playing, and when the younger one walked past her, she stuck out her foot and tripped her. And she fell and cried. So Katie and I immediately said, why in the world did you trip her? You made her fall. She goes, "Well, I didn't make her fall." "Well, who did?" "Gravity." See, even as young people, as kids, no one wants to take responsibility for their actions. They want to pass the buck. They want to do everything they can not to have the final say, because then that means they have to be responsible for that. How many times have we seen this not only in children's lives, but in our own personal lives? That we go around trying to figure out a way to not have to make the decision, to do something that God's asked us to do. And we just skirt around and do everything in our power to not have to make that stand, to make that choice. In the other Gospels, it goes a step further. So they bring Jesus to Pontius Pilate, and Pontius Pilate goes, "Nope. Take him to Herod." He passed it real quick in Matthew. And Luke, I mean, he was like, oh, yep, skirt, skirt, skirt. Not about to do this. Because he knew the gravity of the situation. He had heard, there's no way that Pontius Pilate did not hear about who Jesus was and the things that he was doing in his city that entire week. So here he is, doing everything in his power not to have to make that choice. And I know there have been times in my life where God has placed things before me that I was called to make hard decisions. And I know that there were times that when God asked me to make those decisions, I didn't make them. And you know those decisions because of the guilt that comes after them. Right? You know those decisions. However, it doesn't end with the condemnation for Pilate. Later on, Jesus says, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do," when he's hanging on the cross. That wasn't just for the people around the cross. I believe that was also for Pontius Pilate. Pilate gave the body to Joseph so he could bury Jesus. And it wasn't because of his later actions that he was given that forgiveness. Jesus forgave him because of his incredible grace, his incredible mercy, his incredible love. Even though Pilate tried to get out of making a decision, and he really kind of does anyways, because in Matthew, he washes his hands. Like, nope, I'm not going to do it. But even though he did all that, God still looked at him and loved him. Still died on the cross for him. So my challenge for all of us, it's twofold. First, recognize those opportunities when God is calling us to action and asking us to do something. And to do something instead of looking for a way out. And two, to accept his incredible love and mercy and grace when we do the opposite. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.